Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me again, obviously. I hope we're all good. It's exam season for me. I've been so tired, stressed. You know the exam season, you have like no sleep at all. Yeah, that's me. For those of you that do have exams as well, I pray that it goes all well for you and we all pass with flying colours, you know. So today I'll be speaking about our problems and our issues, and sometimes our issues are supposed to be. You know, and if you do agree or don't agree, I hope that I'm able to help you in some sort of way to understand why we go through some things in life, and I hope you guys are blessed. So keep watching and enjoy. Okay, so I'm someone that obviously believes in God, and I believe that his timing for us, his plans for us are everything. His plans for us are better than the plans that we have for ourselves. He knows what's ahead of us. He knows what's best for us. Guys, nothing that we go through is by accident. So I have things written down again, as usual. Yeah, I should know this by now. If I can just find my notes. Sorry. Guys, it's so easy to have plans and goals and visions and dreams and try and chase them and forget that God has a plan for us already, and unless we get to know him and have a relationship with him, we won't know our purpose, what we should be doing, why we're on this earth, like what we're actually here for. Take for example, we buy a new wardrobe or something, we'd have to go back to the manual to know how to fix the wardrobe, how to use it, how, like, I don't know, whatever we need to do with it, we'll go back to the manual. If we apply that to our lives, it's like our lives and God and his word. Unless we go back to the words and read it and know what it's about and apply it to our lives, we wouldn't know how to live. We wouldn't know how to function. I always say that the Bible is my manual because it has everything I need to be doing. And obviously it's God's written word. I need to get to know God and get to know what he's saying for me, to know what to do, how to live. I'm going to read out something I wrote. Every now and then God will move what we don't need so we can see what we actually do need. Sometimes when things don't go well for us, our relationships, our friendships, just any situation really, we're so quick to be like, oh God, what's going on? I'm not happy. I should be happy. You promised me joy. And sometimes we don't need those things that we cry about. Sometimes we don't need to be in certain relationships. We don't need to be in certain friendships. And sometimes actually God does warn us before it gets to the point where he has to take it away from us. And it's about being obedient. It's about getting to know what he's saying. Like I said, it's so important to know God's will for your life, because you can spend 5 years, 10 years doing rubbish that he never asked you to do. Okay, wait. Was that rude? Okay, I don't mean rubbish, but doing things that we think is right. It could be a job, it could be any sort of thing, what we're studying in uni, in college, and it's not what he said for us. When we fail at the end of the day, when we go to an interview and we don't get a job, it's because it wasn't supposed to be. Obviously we're not going to know like what God wants for our whole life, but it's good to know our purpose at least, just so that we're on the right track, and just so that we don't have to waste our time doing things that are just gonna fail at the end of the day. Sometimes our problems that we face is just God setting us up for what's coming. And guys, obviously there are times that we go through things that discourage us, that make us want to give up on life. It could be I don't know, someone's bullying you, you've gone through a heartbreak, you've lost a job, or something has not worked out for you, accusations, you're fighting someone, someone's fighting you. All of those stuff make us who we're supposed to be. Like, I thank God for all the things I've gone through in life, because they've made me who I'm meant to be today. They've strengthened my character. All the closed doors, everything, it's actually God setting us up for what he wants for us, for our purpose and stuff like that. Sometimes we go through things so that we get to know our own inner strength, so that we get to know the real us. Sometimes everything is going so well, we're living on cloud 9, like we're just soaring in the wind, everything's good, everything's great, and we forget about what it means to be able to be strong for ourselves, to be able to encourage ourselves. We forget what real life actually feels like when we're soaring in the wind. Who says soaring in the wind? I'm so sorry guys. Sometimes we have to go through things to know what we've got, to know how strong we are, to know how much wisdom we have. Imagine you don't go through anything in life I don't know. Challenges are kind of like the gym for our life. Obviously not the actual gym, but they make us stronger. They develop who we're supposed to be. There's even a Bible verse that says something like oh, let me find it before I say something that's wrong. So it is Romans 5 verse 3. This is the New Living Translation. We can rejoice too when we run into problems and trials, for we know that they help us to develop endurance. Verse 4 says, and endurance develops strength of character, and character strengthens our confident hope of salvation. It explains itself. And also, talking about purpose, your purpose could be anything. It doesn't have to be something within the four walls of a church. It could be whatever we have a passion for, whatever we've got a burden for. Your purpose will be something that you love doing. Don't just think of anything to do in life and say, okay, yeah, this is my purpose, I'm gonna run after it. No, because it will fail if it's not supposed to be. Sometimes we want things that are not supposed to be part of our destiny, and then when it doesn't work out for us, we're left feeling like all hope is lost, our life is worthless, or it's not worth living. We just have to get to know what God is saying concerning us before we just lead ourselves and at the end of the day end up in a pit. God is not in our lives to help us fulfill the purpose that we planned out for ourselves. Sometimes we get into relationships, we get into things, and we try and make Jesus the center, or we try and put him around it, or try and involve him in something that he did not tell us to do, that he didn't give to us. And when it fails, it's like, oh God, but I told you, and God, no. Like I said, God is not in our lives to help us fulfill our own purpose. He's in our lives so he can use us, number one, and so he can help us fulfill the purpose that he has for our lives. The things that don't last for us, the things that don't go well for us, are obviously not needed for what's coming, for what's in our future, for what he's saying about us. It's not necessary, it's not needed. And sometimes it takes us learning a lesson, and then later on looking back on it like, oh, I know why I went through this, oh, it makes so much sense now, and all that kind of jazz. The things that we cry about today are to prepare us for what's coming tomorrow. What is meant for you will be yours at the end of the day. It will come to pass. Another thing, through our trials you become noticed. I'm going to take David and Goliath for another example. David, some small guy in the Bible, obviously I don't know if he was a small guy, but David and Goliath, you know the story. David used the rock to throw down the giant Goliath. Who would have thought that David would have become so big after that fight, after that battle? That kind of made David known and put him in a place where he became eventually king. God lifted him up. And just to sum up, like everything I've said, our problems, our issues, our situations are part of the plan that God has for us. The problems that we face give us strength. They make us who we're supposed to be tomorrow. Our problems are even things that help us trust God more. They put us in a place where we're just like, God, your will or not mine. And you know what? Sometimes our storms, our issues, our problems are not even supposed to be for us. We're meant to go through something because God knows that we can go through it, so that tomorrow when somebody else is going through it, we can be that example. Oh yeah, I went through this too, it was fine, I went through it and I conquered it, so I know you will too. Sometimes the issues that we go through are for other people. So yeah, that's it guys. Don't get so discouraged so easily and give up on life and think, okay, God's not real because everything is going wrong for me, or because I'm going through a lot of pain. The pain that we go through is not that God has allowed it. He's just feeling the pain with us, asking for strength to, get through your issues, your situations. The things that don't go to plan for us are not supposed to be. Don't try and open a door that God shut on your life. Don't try and say yes when God said no. Don't try and say no when God says yes. Especially if we already know that this thing is not supposed to be God's plan for us, we're still trying. And then when we get heartbroken, or when someone lets us down, it's like, oh, I hate people, I'm gonna be single forever. Guys, man, focus on your purpose and you'll be fine. Love y'all.